I was thinking maybe it's time to start getting back into the habit of making videos again. I just needed to think some shit in private for a while. But now there's so much to share that it's just like I have to I'm trying to figure a way to make the process stable, because I could just, I've been, I've been saying my opinions of shit for a short while, but as far as actionable modalities, I wanted to at least start expressing the ones that I've made. So this video isn't just me returning to talking. The other half of the video, I will have this on. And this is, I'm also using an old school webcam. I thought it was interesting to kind of go old school with this as I'm getting my camera game sorted out. I'm switching to that, but right now I'm playing with this, especially considering that the thing that I'm filming is easily the most alien thing I've ever seen or made, to be honest. So this is my locks, and it is functionally complete. I'm going to not say finished anymore. That's I don't know, that's some kind of overly masculine need for completion that I'm not really vibing on anymore. It's never going to be complete, even after it has its own autonomy. It is, but it is functional. I'm not having to reinvent badly constructed logics anymore. So based on the exomesh, which will something I want to go into at some point. But today, I wanted to show this off first, and then we're going to turn it on, and you can hear the metabit logic that's also functioning. Everything works, by the way. Everything's working. It's just implementing it in a way that is interesting for me and narratively interesting to share. So now, see, this is the inside of the locks. I've been making a lot of improvements here. The main ones being this red material is antibacterial. See, before, places like, say, here, this is the bridge of the nose, right? That area, that 3D print would always turn green first. I might even have it around here somewhere, but this part would always turn green first from the bacteria that the 3D prints will absorb over time. And I've had many acne breakouts and all kinds of stuff. You might even be able to see. See, it's not bad anymore. In fact, it's actually doing really well. But this area usually gets really, there's a lot of acne over time, especially since I'm doing electrical stimulation as well. This red material solved that. It's got copper nanoparticles in it. It's by a company called Copper 3D, and it's a TPU. It's very flexible and soft, and antibacterial to me means it doesn't itch in 2 weeks. That's what bacteria means to me in this space. So that has become the skin interface of choice. The second thing that's interesting is now that I have, let's see, where is it at? Well, let's see, I have these little sound cards by a company called Rgb Audio, and they're in here. I can just open one of these. So they so this is a sound card. Those two little black boxes, those are actually speakers. I have them turned off right now because I don't need them, but they're there and I'm going to be using them in the hand units. Let's see if I can get this camera to angle up properly. I'm holding it by hand. But these sound cards, they snap right onto the front, and they have a 5-watt amplifier right here, which is where I have the bone conduction transducers connected. That is what this is. So this is a bone conduction transducer. It uses my head as the speaker, right? The red thing on it, that's my interface to my skin, so that A, it doesn't itch, and B, it doesn't cause pain over time. It took a long ass time to get that right, and it's still not finished. So I had those right below my ear. These, the ones with the black pads on them, if you can see where they are. That one, and that one. Those are the back of my head where the locks start to turn into locks, right? And then these are on the parietal lobe, just to the back top of my head, right? So now these two black ones are off right now because I'm exploring these and that one and that one, right? So those are all bone conducting, and so it's a kind of kind of sound portal kind of thing. It's a quadraphonic array, but it's not really quadraphonic. It's something else, especially since I haven't actually networked them together yet. So I can call it all kinds of shit, but right now it's just a bunch of bone conduction. But it does transduce the metabit logic functionally. And then these are up here. You see, I've got this meshed now properly. So all the wire under there, it doesn't have to be covered. These are my electrodes. Now these electrodes, this wire here going from these two black pieces, the two black pieces are conductive. The thing that green strip there, that's the bone conduction thingy underneath. So these are basically just analog wires on my head. They don't do anything yet, but I do still have them sonified, because then this can represent noise, and then when I start getting results, it'll be distinctly not noise. So this is kind of my reference time. I have one there, one at the very front, one just behind it, and then back in the back I have one over the one here, the top, and one over the visual cortex, right? Now, in addition to those, my interest in photobiomodulation, see, this has changed now. This isn't really all about the stage anymore. That's not even an interesting space anymore. In fact, I don't even know if I really want to do stages anymore. I actually like this Zoom space, and I plan to kind of explore that live streaming space as opposed to stages. I'm finding stages to be just a bit too 19th century for me anymore. You know, it's like none of this detail makes any sense on a stage, but in daily life, it's amazing. So now this is the frame. This is my beard brace, my beard frame, right? See, so this is where I have a mask. But what I decided to do with all of this is to, let me just set that down for a second, what I decided to do with all of this is to make, I needed the time from the last few months to just think my own thoughts, right? And so now I feel like it could be interesting to build the next things, the things that will be documented and do that online and have an evolving methodology for that. But this part being just having just been my meditation time, you know, to just explore what this is. So I want to show you the infrared photobiomodulation, but I need to turn it on first. So I rewired everything. So I've got nice, let me do this. I've got, you know, because I was able to afford stuff during that 3 months of stimulus money. So I was able to get not even like the best of anything. It was just be able to actually get, you know, heat shrink and shit like that. So and MOSFETs and DC to DC power inverters. Okay, so now you can hear it. See, that's the infrared. So this, wow, I've never actually seen it with a camera. So this is interesting. This is at the top back of my head, right? And then over the visual cortex and the parietal, the top of the above the corpus callosum on the parietal lobe, there are two infrareds, and then let's see if I can. And then here, this is the one that's between my eyes, and this is the one that is at the top of my forehead, right? Now, on the jaws, I'm exploring red light for right now, and I will probably switch to infrared soon. But on my face, I have RGB LEDs, right? Now these are going to be for a slightly more refined photobiomodulation of the mount point on my face, so that over time that area just becomes a place where that energetic profile emerges from, and the body becomes used to that. So what that does, ask me in a year, and I'll have a much better answer. So now I'm going to put it on. Let's see here if I can, because the process of putting it on is actually pretty interesting. Actually, let me do it like this. Let's see if I can do it like this without fucking everything up. All right. And also note that the reasons I don't change clothes is because I'm never going to buy clothes again, because I can make them. And so it's just been a process of you know, that end stage of clothes wear. Oh shit! Let me put this. Of clothes wearing. You know, why clothes? You know, are they the most effective body covering? That is also the most beautiful. Is it? Does it have to be this textile logic? You know, so I'm putting that question out because it's something that I'm asking myself pretty regularly. All right, so there is a process for this. So I have to make sure the bone conductors are on this. This is the mastoid process. So they have to be seated there. All of these little feet, and it might have gotten it'll get a little louder because it's going to use my skull as the transducer. Okay, so now that's the bone conductor, right? That's going right here. It's actually bridging the base of the skull with the back of the jaw. I find that to be the loudest location on the skull, actually. Alright, so here's this. So you can see so this is there we go. And so now these, pull this under here. I find this to be the least number of places that I can structurally put something of this weight and complexity on the head and still be able to like do things like sleep in it and go do other stuff where I'm not having to concentrate on this shit. Okay, so now you can see the red light is over this area, a set of teeth in the back of my head that have been an ongoing experiment for a few years now. There we go. So there's that. Bone conductors are right there. It gives this strange sensation of, and you can see the modulation there and there. It gives a very interesting sensation of all sound coming from my own throat. I thought that was interesting. So the infrared, and infrared, right? So this will form the basis of the mask that comes next. It gets built onto this, but this, since the coronavirus thing has okay, I have things triggering and I can hear them, but it's not about the stage anymore. That's not interesting at all. Oh, and there's a throat mic too. I just added that because I had another mic. So we're going to cut this video off at 20 because you already know I can ramble on forever, but I don't want to. What I'd like to do So this is the state that it's at now, and right now you can't really hear the voice. Maybe you can. Check. Let's see if it's going to work because I have to change this. Oh, there it goes. What's interesting about it is that it gives me a noise-free amplification. Even here right now with a camera in between, there's no amplification, no hiss. That noise you're hearing is a metabit representation of my head position. You see, it's very simple, and so over time it'll evolve, and it'll evolve very quickly. It'll probably evolve before this time next week by a huge factor. So I wanted to take the time to wow. See, let's see here. The thing to listen for,
Okay, I lied about the 20-minute thing. The thing to listen for is that the microphone now is in this position to be
to fuck up right when I'm trying to demonstrate some shit. That's what it'll do. Alright then, so I guess we ain't doing that shit. So it picks, oh, and now it's buzzing in my, in the bone conduction, which is interesting. In here, it's like, it's right there. So whether or not anyone else can hear it, I can hear it just as annoyingly as if it was still coming from the speaker. Very interesting. So I'm gonna, but I can also do that, and it'll turn itself back on. So it's, you know, right now this is I'm realizing that the Englishing part isn't going to go away. It's going to polarize, where there is this chatty that's come up in the last 10 years, and then a very, very boom, 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 zitty, boom, boom, bam, bam, boom, boom. Let's see. We just turned it back on. Boom, 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 wait. Let's do this. I mean, it's already long-winded. Why not a couple more minutes? You know what this is. All right. Now, I've moved that. Let's see here. All right. Let's do that about right there. All right. So, now plug this thing in. Now, this is the one that's nicer.
As I was saying, this shit. So this is kind of a precursor for the mask space, because there is an opportunity with this mask era that we're moving into, especially for musicians, because yes, we do need to sing, we do need to open our mouths, we do need to but then, now this is just antibacterial. This one is just temporary. This is just to kind of have a face covering for public right now while the better mask emerges. And if you noticed, my voice just got a lot deeper. See, it's still there, but I can feel the mutation of language starting to happen. And as it happens, reality changes with it. So it's interesting, especially as language transduces into a space that already kind of exists. You see, with beatboxing and all of that, but this is like 50-year-old beatboxing. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I'll learn, but I'm not interested in trying to like go run through some gymnastic. I can't do all that shit yet. So that's an update, and I feel like when there's something reasonably interesting to share, it'll be easy to make another update. It will just kind of flow like that. I hope I covered everything, but if I didn't, it's not like I'm using tape or anything, you know, I'll make another video. Cheers.